Hey everybody, thanks for listening to the El Toro's podcast, exclusively now on Anchor.fm. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Here, let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on things like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can also make money from your podcast, which is always a plus, with no minimum listenership. And it's everything you need to make a podcast right at your fingertips and in one place. I can't believe it took me this long to switch over to Anchor.fm, but I couldn't be happier now. So, get yourself started and download the free Anchor app now, or go to Anchor.fm to get started. What's going on, everybody? How the hell are you? This is El Toro from El Toro's podcast, bringing you another episode. I hope you guys are doing really well. I, for one, am very, very happy to be a pro wrestling fan. This past weekend, as you may already have been aware of, we had some of the best wrestling that I've watched in a really long time, thanks to All Elite Wrestling's freaking All Out pay-per-view that took place. And I'm not going to give you a lot of the spoilers because I really want you guys to watch this, but it says something about how well AEW lately has been running their product when you have somebody who is a non-wrestling fan, or at least not as a huge fan as I am, or invested as into professional wrestling as I am, than my lovely, lovely wife. She was in the room watching, reading her Kindle. She was just reading away, but she was in the room with me while I was watching AEW's All Out this year. And I caught her occasionally looking over and, giving the occasional nod and just like watching the wrestling matches, especially some of the people that she knows. I mean, she was surprised to see Paul White there. She's surprised to see Mark Henry there. She was really, really super excited for me when CM Punk came out to wrestle, and it caught her attention. And she was watching, and she said that the environment, and this is stuck with me, the environment of professional wrestling right now is so completely different with how AEW is running their shows and their matches versus how the WWE is running them. And I couldn't agree with her more. She is absolutely right. And goddamn, I love her for that, for being so straightforward and honest. This is somebody who doesn't watch wrestling as consistently as I do, and she actually said something that I had been saying for quite a while on the podcast. The WWE product, unfortunately, has been too scripted for entertainment purposes, and there's a lot of blah, 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 and not a lot of storytelling through wrestling. Wrestlers do wrestle, but they don't get a chance to do it on sort of their own terms. For the most part, yes, there is a guideline that you need to follow. Yes, there is a predetermined finish, but there is a difference between the predetermined finish and how to get to the predetermined finish in WWE versus being able to tell a story through professional wrestling. Less talking, more wrestling type thing, how AEW is doing. But that'll be another story for another day. The card for All Out, from start to freaking finish, was great. Let's start off with the buy-in. The buy-in, you have the Jurassic Express, Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, and Wheeler Yuta going up against Matt Hardy, Private Party, and TH2. It was a very, very great way actually starting off the match. It was awesome. I'm not gonna give you the spoilers on it. Let's just say that it was a very, very great match. All of these matches were freaking stellar matches. Why don't we go through the main card? The main card started off with the opening bout. The AEW TNT Championship match with the Redeemer and the champion, Miro, going up against my boy Eddie Kingston. The fact how Eddie exploited the weakness of targeting Miro's neck was extremely brilliant. I loved it. I saw everything that he did to try to make and break Miro. Eddie made one mistake, and unfortunately, it cost him. But the match was incredible, and it set the tone for the rest of the evening with all the other matches. Now, next up, we have Jon Moxley going up against Satoshi Kojima. And that was an incredible back and forth fight. That was a fucking strong style fight if I've ever seen one. And it was really, really awesome. But what really got my blood racing in a good way, that is, was what happened after the match was done. Now, this I will give you a little bit of a spoiler, but at the end of the match, the legendary Minoru Suzuki comes to the ring and gets in Jon Moxley's face. And I fucking lost my shit. I could not believe what I was seeing, and that was amazing to see fucking Suzuki in an AEW ring. And from my understanding, it's going to be Moxley and Suzuki Wednesday on Dynamite. So if that's really the case, I cannot wait to get my ass home to watch that match from start to finish. Now, next up is the AEW Women's World Championship match, where you have Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, current champion, going up against Chris Statlander. Now, this is one of those matches that my wife kind of like popped up and looked, and she was thoroughly impressed because, like I kept telling her, they actually do a lot of wrestling here in AEW. So she was not disappointed with the moves, especially when she saw Dr. Baker hit the fucking Pittsburgh Sunrise Destroyer. I lost my shit when I saw that. Holy fuck! A tribute to Adam Cole, baby. We'll get into that one a little bit later. So that was an awesome match. Clearly, the Andrade El Idolo and Pac did not take place because Pac apparently had some travel issues. So that is probably going to be taking place on AEW Dynamite. The Steel Cage match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The Young Bucks, the champions, going against the Lucha Bros. All I got to say about that match is holy shit. What a beautiful fucking match. A lot of blood, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears happened in that match, and it blew the roof off. Which you can only imagine just how hard it is to follow that. But right after that, you had the Casino Battle Royale, the Women's Casino Battle Royale for the future shot at the AEW Women's World Championship. So clearly, you have the clubs, the diamonds, the hearts, the spade, and the ever so famous Joker. We know who the people are in clubs, diamonds, hearts, and spades, but the Joker is always the wild card, and we never know who that person is. And they're usually not somebody who is a current member of the roster. I'm not going to tell you what the order of elimination was. I will tell you that the Joker card was Ruby Soho. I was so fucking happy to see her come out. And damn, she looked good in the ring, man. She looked absolutely amazing in the ring. This next match actually got me on the edge of my bed, like biting my nails, because I didn't know what really was going to happen. This was the final fight between Jericho and MJF, and if the stipulation was if Jericho lost this match, he would never wrestle again in AEW. Let me just say that the match was restarted at some point, which should tell you a lot. Something happened during the match that caused the freaking match to be restarted. But it was a truly incredible match. I fucking lost my shit. My wife was like, she had passed out, so she asked me the following day, what was the result of that match? And I told her, and she was, I think she was very, very satisfied with what I told her. So right after that, obviously, it's the match that I've been waiting to see for 7 long fucking years. The return of CM Punk going up against Darby Allin. Just the trailer before the match actually started was incredible. That's how you kind of like really build up a hype for a wrestling match. You do tiny, small little trailers, a few little promos here and there, and that's it. And just get into fighting and wrestling. It was crazy. I loved freaking Punk's ring attire, man. It's no longer those little I call them like tighty whitey trunks. He actually had the full on trunks, waist to ankle, with the shoes and the kick pads on. That's like, it was a great gear. And what a huge ass fucking pop. It was great. I loved every second of it. The next match is QT Marshall with the Factory going up against Paul White. Paul White making his debut in the ring at AEW. And what an amazing time for him to like come out and just relive his love of professional wrestling in the ring. And you can see it. He was grinning from teeth to teeth. Yeah, I know he was in character. He had to play the part of how pissed off he was. But when it was all said and done, you can see how fucking happy and how much he was glowing by the end of that match. And then the final match on the cards, the AEW World Championship match, featuring the champion Kenny Omega with Don Callis going up against Christian Cage. It was a really, really good back and forth fight and a lot of wrestling. The result is the result, and I welcome the result as it was. But I will tell you what happened afterward, and because it's already all over the news and it's all over social media. So if you're not paying attention to social media, then I don't know what's going on. This is the age of social media. But we actually have the return of Adam Cole, baby, and he showed up at the end of the show, at the end of the match. It looked like he was going to beat the shit out of Adam, but no, he embraced. They all hugged. They were ready to say goodbye and good night. And at the end of that part, the Flight of the Valkyrie hits, and fucking Bryan Danielson walks out to the ring, brawls with the Elite. The fucking resounding popular yes chant is filling the arena while Bryan is kicking the caca he's kicking two shits out of the Bucks, and then he drops. I think it's Nick Jackson with the running knee, and that's how the show closed, man. So, and the cool thing is, I got to watch it on Bleacher Reports. I was very, very concerned that I wasn't going to be able to watch the pay-per-view there because you weren't able to watch the pay-per-views there before. But I was able to not only purchase it through Bleacher Reports, I was able to load the app on my Fire Stick and on my Roku here at home, and I was able to watch it easily, which was great. Funny side story about that. For the longest time, Fight.tv always had the AEW pay-per-views available, but not for the people in the United States. You would have to be somebody overseas, like in the UK, in order to purchase the pay-per-view to watch them. I did a video a while back on how to actually do it using a VPN program to geolocate over to the UK, but that's a different story for another day. So after I've already purchased the pay-per-view through the Bleacher Report, there's an email that comes out like the following day announcing that, hey, AEW's pay-per-views will be available on Fight.tv for all U.S. customers. And I'm like, motherfucker. Hey, you know what? That's fine because I have all of my pay-per-view purchases on Bleacher Reports anyway. So it's fine. I don't have to go back and do anything special since they're all there. The quality was great on Bleacher Report. I'm pretty sure it was also very good in Fight.tv. I get a lot of my NWA Shimmer and Shine pay-per-views out of that, so it should be awesome as well. But yeah, that's a little fun fact for that little tidbit right there. But you know what? That's it for me, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed the podcast. Thank you for all your support. Truly appreciate and love each and every single one of you. This is El Toro signing off. Y'all stay safe.
Secret that I never tell. I'm up in heaven, but